It's Jose Gagnon again. Super random guy, man.
75 in the gym guy.
Yeah. And we're continuing on with the Thomas Season 5 Everything Wrong with commentaries. Whoa. And we're doing episode 16. Thomas, Percy, and old SlowCoach.
Bananas.
And we're like I said, in the last one, we'll be introduced to a new character, old SlowCoach. Even though she doesn't really appear in too many episodes, but she still gets introduced in this episode either way. That's why her name's in the title. Bananas. But we're going to get it rolling. You already know it goes here, everybody. Yeah.
Woo.
Alec Baldwin, man's coolness. Woo! Yeah.
Thomas, Percy, and James were looking at the early morning sky.
Super duper amazingness.
Everyone's so much happier when springtime comes, said Thomas. Everyone except Sir Topham Hatt, grumbled James. He seems to be working as hard as ever. I'm tired of these coastal runs. He just wants everything to be ready for the holidays, replied Percy. Anyway, salty air makes me all cheerful in my smoke box. Pah!
You know what I mean?
James. It's the countryside that really gets me fired up. It's the only place to be.
Yeah, James is always super angry a lot of times.
Who's that?
That's Percy.
Oh, on green. Okay.
Yeah.
Thomas and Percy had to take some empty freight cars to the scrap yards.
Thomas is connected to him?
Yeah, to the trucks.
They saw an old coach. She looked very sad.
I'm just kind of surprised that Thomas and Percy aren't like a little like nervous having to go work at the scrap yards, because usually a lot of trains, you know, they get really nervous and just go crazy when they have to go work at the scrap yards, because you know it's all full of dead trains, pretty much. So I'm just surprised they're not, you know, super nervous about having to go work there at all.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
You would think they would be?
Yeah, especially, you know, like all like the dead train bodies hanging around the scrap yards, you know what I mean? Like, I'm surprised they haven't, like, freaked out when they saw them, you know what I mean? But, I guess they just have a lot of determination or something.
Yeah.
And they're just super brave.
Yeah.
I guess somehow. I don't know how, but...
It sounds off the walls, but it's...
Yeah, if it was a different train like Henry, he'd probably freak out and just leave right away, to be honest.
Oh, yeah?
Because, you know, seeing like all of the super dead trains hanging around, it's super dupers.
What are you doing here? They called me old SlowCoach and told me I wasn't useful anymore. Now only the mice ride in me. Well, you may be dusty, but you look in perfect shape. The yard manager appeared. Come along. I have freight cars for you to take away. Excuse me, said Percy's driver. Can you tell us about this coach? Old SlowCoach. She's been here for years. She'll be broken up when we find the time.
And now that they heard that she's going to be broken up, they want to try to save her because, they all know that, when you see something with a face that's still alive in the scrap yards, they know that, they can't leave them there to die because, that'd be awfulness, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they're gonna try to save old SlowCoach so that way she doesn't get broken up into pieces.
And go to junker.
Yeah, pretty much. They want to make her like feel useful and amazingness again.
I know what you mean. That's bananas.
Even though like how they're showing she's like super nasty and dirty.
Yeah, but they said you're dusty, but you're in perfect shape.
Rare. So they want to try to make her feel amazingness again.
That's cool.
No living thing deserves to get broken up into pieces and die in the Thomas world, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is that what you feel?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, she's still living, she still has her face. Not like the other ones, they know that their faces get taken off. You know what I mean? But, yeah, so they're gonna go to try to help out old SlowCoach, and she doesn't die, pretty much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Bananas.
The engines were dismayed.
So who is old SlowCoach?
We'll try and help.
Oh, the little coach
Thomas.
that was dusty.
Oh, that's old SlowCoach. Oh.
Yeah, they're gonna go try to save her.
Meanwhile, James
and there goes
James
is going crazy bananas.
So they only show her once, sir.
Yeah, they're gonna show her again though.
One of the fuel cars was leaking. Then suddenly it caught fire. Oh, help! cried James.
He's
Isn't that us? You know
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what you
Our
mean.
face that we make every day at work.
Yeah, you know the super surprised face.
Yeah.
That's just what James had on.
Yeah, his mouth was wide open.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't believe the tankers caught on fire when James was taking them with him. Can you believe that?
That was off the walls.
Just like how the tankers just like caught themselves on fire somehow. But
It's from some junk, huh?
well, they actually end up explaining that I guess like the way that the tankers came on fire was because like some sparks came out of James's funnel.
Yeah.
And that's what made the tankers start, become on fire. Was the sparks that came out of his funnel.
That's coolness.
So he was
You know what I mean?
he was having the super awful times, the James man.
It sounds like
You know what I mean?
that's what I usually do.
I know what you mean. He was having the super duper
IPMs.
rare. He was having the super duper junk day.
That's just like me at the IPMs in the shred room. In the shred room?
I know what you mean.
It's like,
Bananas.
And it's
you send both
dangerous.
of them to me. Or?
Yeah, I will.
As Thomas and
Oh,
Percy
don't
approached
let
the
her
junction,
Shelley
they
be
saw
around.
the smoke.
I won't.
The guard
I know what you
waiting
mean.
on the flag.
I won't be showing it to her
James
anyway,
and
so.
Fire had set the cars ablaze, he called. The fire is under control, but it's quite a mess.
You know what I mean?
You said the countryside got you all fired up, James,
That's the
said
driver,
Percy.
or-
But I didn't
Yeah,
think you meant it in
he's
this
driving
way.
Percy.
Ha! Snorted James. It was the stupid car's fault, not mine.
What do those little trucks do?
Those are the
It's safe to
fire
proceed
trucks.
now,
Oh, that
called
is
the fireman.
all.
And that's one of the fire guys.
Thomas and
The
Percy now felt
firefighters.
sorry for James.
You know what I mean?
It's an
It wasn't
orange fire
long
truck?
before they reached
Rare.
the station.
Instead of being red?
Rare. You know what they're bananas.
Oh, it should be red, huh?
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Later, as they were having a long drink at the water towers, they suddenly heard a commotion.
Now they're basically gonna run into another fire because there's another fire going on now. Like where they're hanging out.
Oh.
It's super banana. First they saw the fire with James with the fuel tankers, and now there's like a building on fire. It's bananas, you know what I mean?
You don't know what to expect, huh?
It's super crazy bananas. That's why the alarm's going off, because there's a fire.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
What's the matter? Thomas asked. It's another fire at the workman's hut, replied Thomas's driver. We better see what we can do.
You know what I mean?
Yeah? Let's see what we can do?
Real.
That's what it is.
You know what I mean?
Let's see what we can do. Whoa.
They're bananas.
Right off the walls?
Real.
Fire
Yes.
engines had a big problem.
Oh.
We are completely out of water, cried a fireman.
And now the fire trucks are out of water too, so they can't put the fire out. Isn't that junk?
You know what it reminds me of?
What does it remind you
It
of?
reminds me of the episode that Sir Topamat was trying to make it to the birthday party.
And he got like all messy and nasty.
And they went off the road, then he got in, Caroline?
Yeah, and then he ended
Her
up.
car, she ended up doing it, and then somebody else pulled up.
Oh, that was George pulled up,
Yeah, after Caroline's car.
like broke down.
Yeah, somebody else pulled up, and he still didn't make it in that, right?
Yeah, and then he basically fell into like a muddy pond.
Yeah.
Remember, and he got like all nasty and
But
dirty.
He finally made it to the party at the end of the episode.
Even though he was super nastiness and not really in his, all fanciness.
That was a funny episode.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he still made it to his wife's birthday party, even though he was, his suit was ruined and he was all nasty looking. You know what I mean?
You know what are you gonna do? You know what I mean?
But I guess his wife still loved him either way.
That he made it there.
Yeah, because he also got her some flowers too. So that's probably why she didn't really get pissed off at him for getting nasty, I guess.
That's all it is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I guess getting the nice gifts always makes the ladies feel amazing inside. You know what I mean?
We can't use seawater because it clogs our works. We'll just have to let that building burn.
You know what I mean?
Then Thomas
Huh?
had an
Yeah.
idea.
Humans?
Why don't you use the water in our tanks? We've just refilled them. The firemen wasted no time.
So now they're basically going to be using the water from Thomas and Percy's tanks to put the fire out, because since the fire trucks don't have water. So that way they can still try to put the fire out as much as they can at least. You know what I mean?
I do.
it's kind of a good thing that Thomas suggested that. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like using like the water from their tanks.
I do.
It's the amazingness. It just shows you like how super kind Thomas is.
Yeah.
Even though like when he first started out in the first season, he was like so self-centered about himself, and he just changed, and now he's like, you know, being kind and, you know, just, you know, yeah, doing good things for the peoples and his friends.
Yeah, that's cool.
You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter, Simmons.
He's being a super good train guy.
You're very clever engines, chuckled their drivers. Soon the fire was out, but the hut where the workmen lived was
I
destroyed.
know what you mean.
The men can't sleep on the beach, said the cook.
I know what you mean.
Honestly, we used to think the same thing.
What about old
Yeah.
SlowCoach?
Baby,
She
huh?
would be perfect for the workmen, said Percy.
Now they're gonna go save old
Comfy, too,
SlowCoach.
added Thomas.
You know what I mean?
Good idea, Percy, said
Reminds
the
me of that guy at
driver.
the basket last night that you were
They
translating.
phoned Sir Topham
I know
Hatt.
what
He
you
sounds
mean.
huge, jug guy.
He's
She'll be
super
spick
junk.
and span
Hey, it's
by
Mr.
the time
Topham
you
Hat
get
Man.
He doesn't have a hat on?
Yeah,
And
he's
she
hanging
was,
around in his
and
office.
Very happy too.
You know what I mean? He's in his office.
He always has his hat on, huh?
Rare. I guess when he's on his office, he doesn't want to use it, I guess.
He's jug.
You know what I mean?
Bananas.
Bananas. Hey, they got her all repainted and stuff.
Oh, it looks
The old SlowCoach.
looks super
So now she looks super amazing and nice again. Because they cleaned her up and they repainted her.
Yeah.
So now she's amazingness.
cool.
And you know what they're going to be using her for?
What?
They're going to be making people sleep inside of her. You know what I mean?
What, just passengers?
Well, like the workmen, because like the place that burnt down, like the building, it was a little place for the workmen to hang out.
Yeah.
But since it got burnt down, they're gonna use old SlowCoach so that the workers can all hang around and just sleep inside of old SlowCoach,
Oh, cool.
because they basically have nowhere else to hang around basically when they go to do their work.
Yes.
You know what I mean? They're super crazy bananas. You know what I mean?
Babies, yep.
Everyone agreed there was nothing old
You know what
or
I mean?
slow about Coach, and she will always be really useful indeed.
You know what that means?
Mighty Express.
So that was the episode 16. Hope you all enjoyed. And we will see you all next time, everybody. Me and the gym guy.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed the nice, crazy episodes that we did together.
Yeah.
Woo! See you next time, everybody. Yeah, yeah.